Hey everyone, welcome to our podcast from Cannes. Happy to be here with Anne Collard this morning. Anne, please say hello to everyone.
Hi everyone, I'm thrilled to be here.
Give us a little bit about yourself to start off, maybe a little personal, not too personal, of course, and then into your professional experience a bit.
Yes. Well, I am what I like to call a FMCG insights product. So I started my career actually close to 25 years ago at Unilever, and I've been lucky to, see multiple geographies, multiple FMCG companies throughout these 25 years. I moved to Pladis 2.5 years ago, and I moved to London actually 11 years ago. So I have this double, opportunity to basically immerse myself into a new culture. I'm Belgian by background, but also really to learn, the fascinating relationship that British consumers have with biscuits. So
I love
I
that.
love, it's fascinating. And I used to work for tea before, so after tea, biscuits. So no, thank you very much. So yes, fascinating.
Hey, this is what happens when you're going live. You get offered a little
Exactly,
Financial
Financial Times.
Times, that's what happens. So we're just doing it right here on the spot. Well, that's funny, the fascinating connection with biscuits. And it's great, I always get jealous of the fact how you can just travel around in Europe, and it's so great to be out here. And we're here at Insights Lighthouse, and I think that's a
Yeah,
nice segue. Tell me a bit about why you wanted to come to Insights Lighthouse,
yeah,
and maybe what you found interesting so far after
yeah.
a full day.
So I joined basically the Lighthouse network recently through my functional boss at Pladis, Joanna Dumont, and I've been really grateful to connect with all the peers, my insights peers in the industry. This is really something I was missing, to connect with client side, peers. But I still love, the blend with obviously agencies like you guys, because you bring a lot of expertise and, thoughtful provocations about how we test packaging, for instance. So yes, I've been looking forward to basically joining Cannes. And the first day, yesterday, was packed, yet absolutely insightful.
Yes.
So I look forward to day two.
Yes, yes, for sure. Well, there was a lot of different subject matter floating around yesterday, but of course, some common threads. And I think one of the most common threads that I'd like to dig into a bit with you is the utilization of AI.
Yeah,
AI is clearly around us every day, all day,
yeah,
but particularly when it comes to research, obviously for us at behaviorally packaging research, but just more generally when we think about insights, AI must be a component of research
yeah,
now. And,
yeah, yeah.
I'm curious for starters to get your viewpoint on the introduction of AI into research,
Yeah,
and how maybe at Pladis
yeah,
you're seeing it come to fruition.
yeah. So I have been using actually AI for a number of years now. Obviously, I've gone by, step by step, I would say, in my approach. You will have seen yesterday, for instance, Jonathan Williams on stage, who, invented numerous AI tools that I've used, like Discover AI for semiotic analysis. One strategy studio that we actually used last year, one of the first clients on innovation, ideation actually, and innovation testing,
Mm.
but ideation. I think we are on a journey to use AI, because obviously, you know, the question that we always have, I would say, as clients is the space, obviously the environment, AI environment that we leverage for research, closed, and we are very protective, obviously, of our
Yes.
data and
Yes.
insights and ideas, I would say. But yes, I am by nature somebody curious, and I believe that AI could really help us, democratize data and insights, really. When I think about, yesterday we talked about Amazon, who had a very strong purpose, to sell things faster and cheaper.
Sure.
I believe AI is going to do that for insights as well, to basically bring insights faster and cheaper. And this is a win-win, I would say, for us clients, but also for agencies. So I can't wait to basically do more and trial more around AI.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely having an impact already in terms of
Yeah,
driving speed
yeah,
and bringing down cost. I guess with that, though, there comes from some concerns about how much AI may come into the mix and even thinking about, well, what about me? What about human insight? And
Yeah,
I'd like to hear your point of
yeah,
view on
yeah,
that. We were kind of talking about it a little bit just casually on the stroll
yeah,
over.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think what we discussed yesterday, again in the room, was very much that, what will stay for the next probably 2 3 years is, as a insight leader, we need to continue to drive curiosity. We need to continue to drive consumer empathy in the business. I believe personally as well that we are business partners, not insights partner, but we remain first and foremost insights, a business partner to fuel growth in the
Hmm.
business. And what will not be taken over by AI is obviously these connections I have with my stakeholders and the stories that I bring to them to help grow the business. So this is for me something that will continue. Um, the reality is that though, when I talk to agencies, obviously, as I said, back to this opportunity to democratize data and insights and bring insights faster and cheaper, agencies are already actually ahead of us and embedding AI uh, to transform, insights into presentations, into stories, um, and obviously connect data sources as well
Mm,
much faster.
mm,
And I believe that, well, it could threaten really in the long term, our roles,
sure.
because AI is already, I would say, there when it comes to, well, when it is trained, it can show empathy, it can show creativity. So I believe it's little bit of the chicken and the egg. The more we use AI, the more it's trained, the more it's going to show our human characteristics,
Yes. Yeah,
to
that's
showcase our
interesting.
human characteristics. So yes, I really believe that AI can transform the way we work. But for now, I would say uh, democratize insights. Get insights and stories, showcases in nice PowerPoint presentations, quicker and faster. It's
Yeah.
definitely how we can use AI.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing when you bring up how it will become essentially more human. Singularity was a topic that came up
Yes, of
because
course, of
the
course.
the reality is even now, you read these stories about folks using AI and falling in love with a chatbot, for instance, and because it's really talking to you in that sort of way.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I can only testify. I have a 9-year-old years old at home, and when I see her chatting to ChatGPT, the app on my phone, I'm like, whoa, mind blow. It's mind blowing for me to say she talks like she talks to a friend. Actually,
Right.
similarly, again, I have a 26 years old at home. Not my daughter, but she was telling me about sometimes, her mental struggles and the fact that she doesn't want to talk to any other human about her problems, but she talks to ChatGPT. She has a ChatGPT premium account, and she was
Wow.
saying it really helps me to cope with my mental health issues. So
Wow.
for me, it was like a bit of an illumination, aha moment to say, oh my God, there are so many also positive applications, that AI could have tackling loneliness in the world,
Yeah.
helping not only young people who are already actually versed into technologies, but older people
Absolutely.
to deal with loneliness. It's one of the pandemics of this world, So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yes, it's. I was listening actually this morning again to a podcast, The Diary of a CEO, with Stephen Bartlett, and he would feature Jeffrey Hinton,
Okay.
who is a chief AI scientist. He used to work at Google, who is called the godfather of AI. And again, he was very clear about the fact that AI could become actually more intelligent than human in the long term, and it could be that basically these machines don't need us humans
Right.
anymore. So as much as it could be like a little bit pessimistic, I would say, but I do believe that the rate of adoption is going faster and faster.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's interesting because you brought up the different age ranges too. 9-year-old, 26-year-old,
Oh
and
yeah.
if I kind of bring that into the workforce, if you will, the current workforce versus the future
Oh yeah.
workforce, and what are you seeing in terms of willingness to adopt AI in the workplace? Because the aforementioned struggle, if you will, that some see with, well, is this going to replace me, and is it being used, at least in your professional experience, in a way that's making people feel comfortable? And is that a goal to implement it in a way that people feel comfortable with it?
It's a little bit, I would say, paradoxical because, as I said, there is an obvious gain, using AI to as I say, do things faster and cheaper. And as you know, obviously your companies nowadays, are definitely geared toward, short-term profit. So anything that can help that will definitely help us, I would say,
Yes.
because we need to move faster. We need more than ever. We operate obviously in a world where I would say the unknown is around us all the time. So anything that can help us to go faster and cheaper, I would say, will help. Now, yes, I lost a little bit what I wanted to say.
No, that's okay. That's
Um,
okay.
Yes, now I believe so in the short term, the rate of adoption, yes, we were
Yes.
talking about. Rate of adoption, on the other hand, as I mentioned earlier, I think there is always this threat a little bit to disclose anything that is confidential or strategy to a bot,
Yes.
to a machine,
Yes.
and to say, well, one, is it going to go public? So we obviously talk a lot with legal ahead of commissioning any AI project, because we want to make sure that basically nothing leaks, obviously
Sure.
on open sources.
Sure.
And yes, I believe that this would probably slow down a little bit the rate of adoption. But we talk currently about 5 years time. I think it's going to go faster.
Okay. Okay. Now, maybe let's shift gears a little bit
Yeah.
and think about back to personal uses of AI. And
Yeah.
as we start to close out here, we're talking about AI in the workforce. Let's have a little fun with it. Personal uses.
Yeah.
Are you using AI to look up recipes? Are you I heard some of your family's uses. Like, what about yourself, man?
All,
What do
all
you?
the time, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, I am.
I bring up recipes because I'm a foodie, by the way. We didn't get to that part of the conversation on the walk
Yeah.
over, but that's where my mind constantly goes.
I'm curious about
Yeah.
everything. So every time I have a question, I keep saying, let's ask to ChatGPT. And it's fascinating because I have, the app. I don't have a premium account, and but I use it every day. And I ask very simple question about everything. Could be a food recipe.
Sure.
Could be like we're discussing on the table about a topic. It has become nearly your assistant. Your tech assistant. Even when we have dinner together, let's ask ChatGPT. What do you think?
Yes.
Because there is always, I would say, an answer like at our fingertips. And the beauty of AI is that unlike Google, basically, they interact with you. So you can have a real conversation. As I said, it's basically my tech assistant, our tech assistant.
Yeah, it is.
When we have dinner.
I mean, and maybe as we come to an end here, you bring up something great, which is like AI agents, right, and the utilization of agents. And if we maybe get back into the work mindset just for a moment here, AI agents, utilization of AI in order to not only accelerate insights, but perhaps do some of the more rote type of tasks, if you will, associated with analysis and analytics. That was another piece of subject matter that had come up.
Yeah.
Are you? Is there any particular areas that you feel like AI agents would be very helpful to you for your business?
Absolutely. Connecting data sources, for instance, for me is a
For
massive,
sure.
massive opportunity. I have a fabulous team, and we have been able to really go far on that topic, but it requires so much time and energy, and obviously resources as well, that we always need to make, I would say, a trade-off between connecting data sources and spending a lot of time on, I would say, what looks to the business like a non-added value task,
Mm-hmm.
and telling stories. And as I said, connecting with our stakeholders about what they need to know to grow the business. So for me, anything that can accelerate data connection, definitely something we would like to leverage. And then I'm trialing as well, literally as we speak, with a few agencies like storytelling. So once we have the data set available, how do we transform data? How do we make sense of data? And how do we bring insights onto the table? So again, I think AI, there are a number of AI tools that
Absolutely.
can do that.
I love the example of bringing multiple data points together from multiple sources. And with the storytelling, I personally believe, just like when you use ChatGPT now, if you have it help you put together something, it's always just a draft. It's never going to be a final. I mean, at least in my eyes. So
Yeah.
it's a tool to help you get there, basically.
Absolutely. I think it's an enabler, but again, more yesterday morning in the breakfast conversation that I attended with the Insights Lighthouse, we were talking about, the also the future of AI with Yale researchers. And there was a provocation from the professor who spoke yesterday about AI being a enabler versus AI being the canvas, and I felt that it was a very good provocation because
Yeah.
it's not only an enabler. Yes, it's an enabler, but it can go much faster,
Much further.
further exactly than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Anne, I really appreciate you taking some time today. I
Pleasure.
guess, could we close by getting your take on biscuits? You brought it up in the beginning, maybe bringing it back. Like, what's the fascination? And, you said that the fascination with biscuits, and we were talking about the British and London, and what
Well,
that's been in the back of my mind throughout the podcast. I have to be honest. I want to hear a bit about
I
that.
believe people, I mean, as I live in a country where, per capita consumption of biscuit is the highest in the world, I believe that people will always enjoy a biscuit. And we see it in, again, our data and our insights. Enjoying a cup of tea and biscuits is so British, and also actually helps very much, in things like mental health also issues. So I believe that, we have huge opportunity and growth opportunities with biscuits.
Favorite for you?
Pladis.
Favorite for you from
Oh, my
Pladis?
favorite, Jaffa cake.
Okay.
It's
There
not
we
a
have it.
biscuit, it's a cake.
Okay. Okay. That sounds like another podcast in the future.
It is. It's a British debate as well.
Well, thank you again. Really appreciate your time today.